So, like one thing I have been wanting to talk about for a while. I had COVID a couple of weeks ago. That's like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, and before anyone goes like trying to say I'm trying to spread misinformation by being an anti-vaxxer or something like that, I have been fully vaccinated. Okay. And I admittedly am a very, excuse me, strong anti-government person. Alright, here we go. Let me just get rid of this waypoint here. Oh, does it get rid of them automatically? Alright. Alright. So, as I was saying, I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I am a pretty big anti-government person, see. I got COVID about 2 weeks ago. And, you see, it was a big deal because I had to miss 2 weeks of work. And before anyone was like, oh, but the vaccines, they're supposed to keep you out of the hospital. Well, I had it really fucking bad, okay? Like, I mean, so fucking bad. For like 3 days, you know, where they talk about the disorientation and fucking brain fog, and you're kind of wandering around in a daze. I was like that for about 3 fucking days. I'm like drifting in and out of consciousness, laying on my bed, watching old episodes of Doctor Who and Ultraman, and barely able to function as a human being. But, I'm laying there, and, you know, in like 80s shows when fucking, people get hit on the head and they stumble around for a little bit and fucking, like, pass out. Well, every time I saw one of those, I was like, wow, that's exactly how I feel right now. Ugh. It was horrible. Now, that was just like the first 3 days. And, it was kind of nuts, see, because, so for 3 days go by, and I'm like missing, like, I've missed 3 days of work because, like, it actually hit me on a fucking, on a fucking Saturday. I started getting sick, started feeling bad on a Saturday, you know. Monday, Sunday happens, and I'm just sitting there like completely just zonked out of my mind in that crazy kind of disoriented kind of way. Fucking barely know what's going on. And 3 days go by, or a couple days go by, and here comes Monday, and I'm like, okay, I really need to try to get to work. But on the other hand, I work with older people, so it's like I don't want to get them sick, especially not with COVID. Like, holy shit. Not totally sure if I even have it or not. So I decide I'm gonna go down. Locally, the local concert people in this area have been giving out free COVID tests because that's one of the things you need to attend concerts, is either to be fully vaccinated or have a COVID test. Now, I was fully vaccinated, but I kind of wanted to do the right thing and get the oh crap, get the test. So I go and I get the test, and it comes back negative. I ain't got nothing. Still felt like shit. A couple of days, go by. I think it's like Tuesday now, and I'm like, okay, I am going to try to get to work. I don't know what to do. And I get up, and one of the weird things is when I first got my vaccination, I got this blister on my lip. It was kind of annoying. And I looked it up and asked around, and supposedly it was a normal part of the vaccine working. If you've ever heard the stories of COVID toe, that's kind of where that blister comes from, only it's on toes. So anyway, the first time I had it for the first shot, ow! I had it on my lip. And for the second shot, I had it on my eye. It was really fucking annoying. It actually felt like pink eye. It hurt like hell. I fucking hated it. Oh, no, I don't want to go against the freeway. Alright. New York is, oh, there's a pretty nice bridge over there. Let's check it out. Is that the bridge I just came from? Nah. It's worth checking out anyway. Let's see if I can get to it. Anyway. Kind of sloshed right now, so forgive me if I'm not super coherent. But anyway. Oh God, I'm going against traffic. Alright, so anyway, oh, here we go. Where was I? Fucking... I wasn't going fast enough. Oh, I was. No, I wasn't? Anyway, I got the blister on my lip, and it was the sign that my body was fighting COVID and doing everything it was supposed to do. So, Thursday comes around. I'm like, I still feel like shit, but I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel good enough I can at least try to work, right? So, I fucking... As I'm getting up, I'm getting ready to go, that blister was back. And I'm just like, ah, shit. That blister that I had on my lip and on my was back. And I took that as a oof. So I got it checked out, right? I'm like, I got the real test. I figured do the right thing and fucking get tested. Well, turns out, sure enough, I fucking had COVID. I got one of the longer tests, which took 2 days for the results to come in. And it was sure enough, you got fucking COVID. Keep in mind, I still felt like shit. Like, fucking, I've had pneumonia before, right? So my lungs are kind of sensitive to respiratory problems. So, oh God, I gotta slow down, sorry. Anyway, my lungs are kind of sensitive to respiratory issues. And it started getting like really hard to breathe because my lungs were basically filling with fluid. It was quite painful. A lot, actually. So it was like, all right. I let my boss know. My boss is like, okay, we're going to make it 10 days from your positive. And I was like, okay. Keep in mind, this was Thursday and almost Friday. I've nearly missed an entire week of work. Fucking... And so, like... You know, missing 2 weeks of work kind of sucks. I mean, your paycheck is like... My paycheck is like just big enough to cover the rent before everyone pays me back for their share. So, missing 2 weeks of work is a big fucking deal. So it was like, okay. And then my roommate catches it. It's like, so we're both fucking just absolutely terrible. It's like, it hits him just as hard as it hits me. And the whole time it's like, well, maybe it's just gonna be a fucking, maybe it's just gonna be like a 24-hour flu and I'll feel completely better the next day. I'm like, motherfucker, it's not. You goddamn motherfucker. So, and basically, during the summer, we had a ton of smoke, and my lungs never fully recovered from that. So it was like, for like the next week, I could just barely breathe. It was like my lungs just filled with fluid, and it was kind of shitty. And I can't afford to go to no fucking hospital. I have no idea where I'm going, by the way. But this game is rendered gorgeously. Anyway, so I missed 2 weeks of fucking work. And even on the day when I went to work, my lungs were still kind of questionable. But yeah, fucking 2 weeks of work, and I missed 2 weeks of work on my paycheck. And like, if it wasn't for my mom has been kind of looking for excuses to throw some money at me. So she's like, how much do you need to make rent? And I'm like, well, she's like, all right, just give me a couple weeks, I'll get it to you. And like, this entire thing is just fucking sucked. It was horrible. But yeah, 2 weeks of work, my mom helping me out, and I had COVID and survived. Ooh, and yes, I am fully vaccinated. Don't anyone be thinking I'm telling people not to get vaccinated. I'm just telling what physically happened to me. I'm not trying to give any opinions on anything, so.